Okay, for this standard, so you've been working on your single step and your multi-step word problems. Now we're moving into multi-step word problems. So they're going to have more than one step, and you're going to have to think about remainders. So all of these problems, when you do interpreting the remainder, are going to be about division. But you're just going to have to think about them and how, what to do with it. So there's 3 choices of what to do with the remainder. I'm not going to go over them now. We're going to come back to them as we work because otherwise that's too confusing. So the biggest thing I always tell my students is to think about the story. So up here, if you want to write next under think, if you want to write, you want to think about the story. If you try to think about it like rules, you're going to have a really hard time. Like if you think, oh, these are the 3 rules of what we do with remainders, that's not the case. Okay, we're going to want to think about with our language arts brain, I think I've said that in a couple other videos, what to do with these remainders. So let's read the story. So a restaurant needs to buy 5 new plates. So the restaurant needs 5. And you can see I'm thinking about the story. Each box has 2 plates in it. How many boxes will they need to buy? So they need 5. So this first box, imagine, it has 2. And then the next box has 2. So that would give them 4, right? Because 2 plus 2 is 4. So if they bought 2 boxes, they would get 4 plates. But can they just say, if they need 5, can they just say, oh, well, we'll just get 4? No, they cannot. So now they're going to buy another box of 2. They're going to buy more than they need. So this is the remainder where we raise it, okay? So we're going to take the answer. So if the story, they need 5, how many boxes will they need to buy? 5 divided by 2, right? So that would be 2. 2 times 2 is 4. We subtract, we get 1. 1 is our remainder because we have nothing left to divide and we have, it's smaller than this. But they can't just be missing that 1 box, right? So this is where we raise it. So we say, okay, we can, if we divide our 5 plates that we need into boxes of 2, we are going to get 2 boxes with 1 left over. We don't want to be missing that 1 left over, so we're going to buy 3 boxes. Okay, so we're raising it, which means we raise the answer to the next whole number when we need to have enough whole groups. So basically, so we can draw a picture, right? So yes, we only need 5 and we're gonna buy 6, okay? But the question was, and if you look back at the question, that's another good strategy. How many boxes? Well, they need 3 boxes, okay? So that's raise it, where we take our answer and we go up 1 in order to have enough of what we need, okay? A bookstore needs to buy 23 new books, so they need 23. If each box has 3 books, how many boxes of books will they need to buy? So again, we can draw our pictures. So we can go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So we're at 6 boxes, which is 18 books. We need 23. 21, 24. So if they must, remember if it says need, if they need to buy, they can't buy less than that. So they need 23. Each box has 3 books in it. How many boxes of books will they need to buy? Well, if they buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, they're only going to get, or 7 boxes, excuse me, they will only get 21 books and they need 24. So that means that they will have to buy a total of 8 boxes. Again, if this is our raise it up here, and if you look at it, the traditional algorithm, the way you guys learn with division, oh, not 24, we're going to do 23 books is how many they need. We're going to divide it into boxes of 3. Okay, we can't do 2, so we move over 23. The closest we could get is 21, so that'd be 7 times 3 is 21. We subtract, we get 2. So we have 2 left over. That's how many more we need. So our remainder would be 2. So we would raise it. We would take the 7 and turn it into an 8. And it doesn't matter, you guys, if you do the division problem or if you draw a picture like this. The goal is just that you understand that even though the answer is 7 remainder 2, that we have to raise it because of the story, okay? So you can do it either way. All right, let's look over here at this one. Sora was given $145 for his birthday. He wanted to buy Pokemon cards, which cost $6 per pack. How many packs of Pokemon cards can Sora buy with his birthday money? So it's a lot to draw out that much. That would be a lot of 6s, right, to get to 145. So this time I'm going to actually do it. So 145 divided by 6, right? Because he has $145. He knows it's $6 per pack. So he's splitting his $145 into basically how many packs. So 1 divided by 6, we can't do it. So we move over to the 14. That would be 2 because 6 times 2 is 12. So let's subtract, which gives us 2. So now we got to think, we got to bring down, which we've talked about before, which is 25. Excuse my ugly 5 there. Okay, 25 divided by 6, that will get us to 4. Okay, 6 times 4 is 24. So we're going to subtract, and we're going to have 1 left over. Now this time, we're not going to raise it. So they said how many packs. We can't increase the amount of money he has. That's how much money he has. He has $145. That's how much he got for his birthday. This is how much each pack costs. And I love to label like this because it helps me think. So what is this? This is how many packs he can buy. That's how much he can afford. So this one, we cannot raise it because we can't change this amount of money. We can't just randomly increase it. I wish the world worked that way, but it doesn't. So let's look over here. This time, we're going to drop it. So we drop or remove the remainder when a problem wants to know how many whole or complete groups we have. And that's what they're asking. How many whole packs can he afford? So the remainder is 1 here. I'm going to write it kind of small, but that's his remaining dollar. It's $1 he would have left. So how many packs can he afford? He can afford 24 packs. Okay? Hopefully this is making sense. So raise it is when you go up 1 whole number, and then drop it is when you have a less, when you just need to know how many whole groups you have, okay? Florist has 48 roses. So that's how many he has. You gotta think like, envision a room, and it's usually they're cold, right? And it's like a fridge, and he's got 48 roses in there. He wants to make bouquets with 9 roses in each. How many roses will they have left over? So this time, we'll do circles. So here's a bouquet of 9, and here's another one that makes 18, and then another one, 27, and then another one, that's 36, and then another one would be, let's see, 9 times 5 is 45. So if we add each of these is the bouquets, right? So that gives us 45, okay? And then this time, he would have 3 left over, right? And so, because 45 is how many are in the bouquets, so in bouquets, oops, I spelled it wrong. There should be another U. Sorry. So this is how many we started with. There's 45 in the bouquets, which is groups of 9, right? And 46, 47, 48 is how many would be left over. They're asking how many would be left over. And so if they ask how many are left over, it's called leave it. And that would be what we do when they want to know the remainder as the answer. Okay? So the remainder on this one, would be, or the answer on this one would be 3, because they're asking how many will they have left over. And leftover means remaining, right? Like that, like remainder, that's what we do. So I hope this is like making sense, but you really just have to think about the story and what makes sense. That's why I like the picture method. You can always do this if your brain understands the story, but for me, for some reason, to see it in pictures, it just works better for me. Okay, there are 26 4th grade students going to the baseball game. Yay, I love baseball. 26 students. People are usually where this makes the most sense to me, because we can't be like splitting people in half or having just people left over. So let's check it out. If 4 students can ride in a car, how many cars do they need? So let's start. So here's car 1. okay? And I just do boxes. I don't turn this into an art project. You can do boxes, you can do circles. So there's 4 students in this. So now we've got 4 more in the car 2 and 4 more. So let's count, 4, 8, 12. So now we've got 3 total cars. Now we've got 16 students in 4 cars. Now we've got 20 students in 5 cars. 4 more. So I'm just splitting those students. I'm passing them out. I want you to envision like the cars and the teacher saying, okay, you're going in car number 1, you're going in car 2. Maybe they would count them off. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Now in this last car, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 25, 26. So there's only going to be 2. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full cars with 2 in the next car. The thing is, if we were to do this, so it's obvious by doing it this way, right? We'd have 7 cars, right? So our solution is 7 cars. But I want to show you with if you do it the other way. So 26 divided by 4. We can't do 2, so we move over 26. 6 times 4 is 24. So that gets us there, and we subtract, which leaves us with 2. The answer is 6, right? But we can't just take those 2 kids, if it was real life, if it was my class. I can't be like, oh, sorry, you 2 students, you don't get to go, right? So we'd have to get another car. So that's another situation where we would raise the remainder, okay? Last question. There are 147 students wanting to join a summer camp. 147 students. A camp counselor can only monitor 6 students. How many children will the last counselor be responsible for? So this one again, I don't really want to draw that many things. So again, we can't divide 1 by 6, so let's go over to the 14. 14 divided by 6, that will get us to 12. So let's do 2. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract, we've got 2 left. Bring down the 7. 27 divided by 6, that would be 4. Okay. 6 times 4 is 24. We subtract, we get 3. Now, so that means we have a remainder of 3. The question was, how many children will the last counselor be responsible for? So 24 is how many students are covered. Like this is the leftover, right? So the 6 is students per group. The 147 is the total number of students. And so what is this 24? That is how many students can divide evenly. And then the 3 left over is how many children the last counselor will be responsible for, which means it's a leave it. So how many are left over? Oop, sorry, I hooked on my spiral there. So the answer is they will be responsible for 3 students. Okay? All right.